Okay. Now I hope you have subscribed the channel. Otherwise, whenever I will upload the recording, you will not get the notification. Okay. So today we are learning the parallelogram law of vector addition. So at first we are just making the parallelogram and we are just aligning the vector quantities along the sides of the parallelogram, along the adjoining sides of the parallelogram. So this is the one side. This is the parallelogram we are just drawing. Okay. So by one side of the parallelogram, if one vector is represented like A vector is represented by this line. Okay. These are the two sides of the parallelogram. By one side of it, we have represented a vector A. By another side, by the adjoining side, we are representing another vector B. And the resultant vector should be calculated by the diagonal. Okay. In this, okay, okay. Due to the network issue, okay, may happen. Okay, we are just recording the meeting today or most probably on tomorrow morning. I will just upload in the YouTube channel, then she can watch it. So in this parallelogram law of vector addition, we have represented one vector A along one side of the parallelogram and another vector B is represented by the adjoining side. So through the diagonal, we are representing the resultant of the two vector quantities. That the resultant vector R is equals to A vector plus of B vector. It is represented by the diagonal of the parallelogram. So in this case, you have to calculate the magnitude of the resultant vector, right? So you will say that, sir, how it is becoming a parallelogram? In this case, if you are just making the parallelogram like this, that the sides are joined by the dotted lines, then it is becoming a parallelogram. No? So that's why we are saying the law that if two non-zero vectors are represented by the two adjoining sides of a parallelogram, like A vector and B vector, then the resultant will be given by the diagonal of the parallelogram. So we are writing the law of this parallelogram law of vector addition. So if two non-zero vectors, if two non-zero vectors are represented by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then the resultant is given by the diagonal of by the diagonal of the parallelogram, by the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through the point of intersection, through the point of intersection of, oh, sorry, again it is becoming like that, point of intersection of two vectors, intersection of two vectors. This is the complete law we can write. That is, two non-zero vectors are represented by the two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Then the resultant is given by the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through the point of intersection of two vectors. Okay. So why the law is clear now, that how we can explain the parallelogram law of vector addition. Just write it down fast. The total thing will come for 2 marks. You have to draw this figure, write down the statement, then you will get 2 marks only. After writing it down, tell me. Whether everything is written. Sharing, Purba, Ananya, Minju, Manish, Gagan.
So not finished.
Okay, write it. In this figure, you can say that the angle between the two vectors, this angle is can be represented as theta. We'll just write down, we'll just draw the figure again to find out the magnitude of resultant vector. The same formula will get like the previous one. For the triangle law vector addition, whatever the formula we have obtained, in this case also we'll get the same formula. But sometimes the proof, uh, it is asked for 2 marks. That's why we have to do that. Now, why that is finished, everyone?
Finished, sir.
Okay. Now we are
Yes, sir, done.
Now we are just drawing the figure again. This is actually the parallelogram. By one side we are representing a vector A, by another side we are representing a vector B, and by the diagonal we are representing the resultant vector. This is R vector equals to A vector plus of B vector. So if we just make the complete parallelogram, so it will look like this. But in this case, there is no right angle triangle. And without any right angle triangle, I can apply the Pythagoras theorem. So that's why I have to draw a perpendicular from this point. From this point, if I just draw a perpendicular on the base, so it will look like this. So the angle between the A vector and B vector, we are considering as a theta. So here also I can say that if this is the A vector, right? That if this is the A vector, so I can say that along this, it will be the B vector, and the angle between A vector and B vector is theta. So this angle is theta, right? So I can say that along the base, obviously the horizontal component will work. That means along the base, which component I should write? If the B vector is working like this, so obviously B cos theta will work along the horizontal axis, and B sine theta will work along the vertical axis. This angle is 90 degree. If this angle is 90 degree, so I can say this is a triangle like PQRS. So I'm getting a right angle triangle, that PQR is a right angle triangle, right? It is a right angled triangle where angle Q is equals to 90 degrees. So I'm going to apply the Pythagoras theorem, that I can say that here PR is the hypotenuse. PR is the hypotenuse. It is having the value of R, because we are considering the magnitude of a resultant vector, and it can be considered as R. Along the base, here the base is actually PQ. In this case, I can say it is of A plus B cos theta, the total components that is working along the base. And the perpendicular, it is of QR. Here QR is equals to B sine theta. Up to that, whether it is clear? If instead of this diagram, I can draw another diagram as well, by which this right angle triangle can be drawn clearly. Okay, in your copy, you can do one thing. You can draw a parallelogram, a beautiful parallelogram with the help of pencil scale. Okay, then you can draw a perpendicular line from the point R. I hope you can make the diagram better, because now I don't have a scale pencil, even I can't use them in drawing these things. Okay, so whether the base perpendicular and hypotenuse of this right angle triangle is clear?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I cannot see your screen.
Oh, you cannot see my screen. So do one thing, leave and join.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there is raining. That's right. Rest of the people, whether you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have a good network. So whether the base, hypotenuse, and the perpendicular, whatever I have written, whether it is clear, I can zoom into the figure that I have drawn. Wait, let me zoom, okay? So now you can say that whether the right angle triangle is visible, the right angle triangle is PQR. Gagan, whether it is visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So along the base, I have added the components like magnitude of A vector. Magnitude of A vector is A. Okay. Let me write down the magnitude of A vector. This is equals to A. So along the base, the two components are working. One is A, another is B cos theta. So that's why I have added them. Along the perpendicular, only B sine theta is working. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we are applying Pythagoras theorem. So I can say that R square, it is equals to A plus B cos theta, that whole square, plus of B sine theta, that whole square. So it will be A square plus of 2AB cos theta plus of B square cos square theta plus B square sine square theta. So in this case, A square plus of 2AB cos theta plus B square is taken common. So cos square theta plus sine square theta will be there. And I know that A square plus of 2AB cos theta plus of B square, this is the final expression. So if R square is equals to that much, so R is having the value of this one, that A square plus 2AB cos theta plus B square. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, that's very good. Now, just write it down. Then I'll just move back to the figure.
So done.
Okay, that's good. Now going back to the figure. In this case, the angle between the resultant vector and the vector A, if we are considering that this angle is suppose alpha, okay, the angle between the resultant vector and the vector A is alpha. So we can say alpha is the angle between the resultant vector R vector and A vector. Okay, so what will be the value of tan alpha? Just see the figure. I'm just zooming in and tell me what will be the value of tan alpha. Because we know tan alpha is equals to perpendicular by base, right? So what is the perpendicular? The perpendicular we can see it is of b sine theta and the base is of a plus b cos theta. So I can say that tan alpha will have the value as a b sine theta divided by a plus b cos theta, right? Whether we can say like this, just see the figure and tell me. Tan alpha is equals to perpendicular by base. That means it is equals to b sine theta divided by a plus b cos theta, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, why did the total thing is written, everyone?
So done.
Okay, that's very good. Now, we are moving to understand the scalar product of two vectors. Scalar product of two vectors. Okay. Scalar product of two vectors, like one vector is working along the horizontal line, and with respect to this vector, another vector is working along this line. If this is the v vector and b vector is having an angle of theta, right, with respect to a vector. So I can say that angle theta is being created by b vector with respect to a vector. So B should have some vertical component as well as horizontal component. So the horizontal component of B vector, which is working along the A vector, it will be of B cos theta, right? And if I consider the magnitude of A vector as A, so along the horizontal line, the two components are working, which is A and B cos theta. So the scalar product of two vectors, that means A vector dot of B vector, it can be written as A multiplied by of B cos theta. Okay. The scalar product or dot product of two vectors, it is equals to A dot B, it is equals to AB cos theta. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this case, there are 2 to 3 types of questions are come. Okay. First one, that how to find out the dot product of two vectors. Okay. In this case, one vector is given like 3 I cap, 4 J cap, 5 K cap. Okay. Whenever one vector is represented with the help of unit vector and you have to find out the dot product, remember one thing, that the dot product of I cap and I cap, it is equals to 1. The dot product of J cap and J cap, it is also equals to 1. And the dot product of K cap and K cap, it is also equals to 1. Right? If these are the axes, okay, this along the x-axis I cap is working, along y-axis J cap, along z-axis K cap is working, right? So in this case, if another I cap is working along the same axis, then their dot product will be equals to the magnitude of I vector. Sorry. When the two unit vectors are working along the same horizontal axis, then their dot product will be equals to the magnitude of I cap. It is equals to 1. So that's why I'm saying whenever the two unit vectors are multiplied, it is equals to the magnitude of unit vector, and that's why it is 1. Whenever two another unit vectors are multiplied here, that means we are finding out the scalar product. It is equals to the magnitude of the unit vector, and that's why it is equals to 1. Okay. Why that this total thing is clear? This
Yes,
I
sir.
cap, J cap, K cap, they are not the vectors. They are the unit vectors. They are only used to find out the direction. Okay. Suppose one vector is having some component which is working along the x-axis, y-axis, as well as z-axis. So the component which is working along x-axis, it is represented by I cap. The component along y-axis, it is represented by J cap, and the component along z-axis, it is represented by K cap. Okay, for this purpose, this unit vectors are used. Write it down. Why that this thing is clear, everyone? Gagan, Mingyur, and
Yes.
Sharing,
Yes, sir.
Ananya, Purba, Manish.
Yes, sir.
Manish is having some network issue, no? Manish, whether you
No,
can
sir.
listen me? No, I hope he is having some network issue. So those students who are having the network issue, you can do one thing. Just find out a network tower, climb it up, and make some nest over there. Okay. And this is the place for your online Zoom meeting. Whenever any class will be there, just climb up the tower and just sit on the nest.
Yes, sir.
So done.
Okay, that's very good. Now, if that happens, that in this case, I cap and J cap, they are not working along the same axis. So I can say the product of I cap and J cap, that means the dot product of I cap and J cap is 0 because they are not working along the same axis. Similarly, J cap dot of K cap, it is equals to 0, and K cap dot of I cap, it is also equals to 0 because these unit vectors, they are working along different axes. I cap is working along x axis, J cap is working along y axis, so their dot product will be 0. The dot product will have some value whenever the two things are working along same line. As you can see in this figure, that A and B cos theta, they are working along same line. So that's why their product is becoming the dot product or scalar product of two vectors. Just write down, it is also known as dot product. I have only written as scalar product. Here there is a small space. It is also the dot product. Because if I give you the question in your exam that find out the dot product of two vectors, you will not understand what is dot product. That's why. Before the exam, I'm just planning to finish this dot product and cross product. So the vector chapter is bye-bye. Then we can go for relative velocity, relative speed. What will happen if I just turning by a road? What will happen if I'm just moving through the road whenever it is raining? All that things we'll learn. Now whether it is written, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's find out. Now let's see some examples to understand the dot product. Suppose A vector equals to 3i cap plus of 4j cap minus of k cap, and B vector equals to 5i cap plus 6j cap minus of 7k cap. And you have to find out the dot product of two vectors. Whenever you have to find out the dot product, write the vectors in this way as a 3i cap plus of 4j cap minus k cap dot of, only a single dot should be given there, like 5i cap plus of 6j cap minus of 7k cap. Now whenever you will find out the dot product, just multiply the components of I cap of the two vectors. That means multiply here 3 and 5. 3 5s are 15. I cap dot of I cap is 1. So that's why I'm not writing down the 1 with this 15. Okay. Then you should multiply the component of j cap with the component of j cap of another vector. So it is 4 6 are 24. Now you should multiply the component of k cap of one vector with the component of k cap of another vector. So it is minus 1 multiplied by minus 7. So it is plus 7. Tell me how much I'm getting.
$46, sir.
46. Very good. In this way, we have to find out the dot product. Whether it is clear, at first the components of I cap should be multiplied, then the components of j cap should be multiplied, then the components of k cap should be multiplied. Okay, this is case 1. That type of question can be asked. Now let's move for second type. Just write it down and tell me whether it is clear or not.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. Now, the second case, like the two vectors are given, like A vector is given as I cap minus j cap plus of k cap. Okay, suppose we are considering only I cap plus minus of j cap. Okay. and B vector should be given as I cap plus of J cap. And they will say that what is the angle? Find out. This is the most, most important question. Find out the angle between the vectors, between A vector and B vector. Write down the question. This question we will solve so fast as you have the next class.
Finish writing.
Okay. So in this case, whenever you have to find out the angle between the two vectors, that means in this case, A vector is given like I cap minus J cap, B vector is given as I cap plus of J cap. So we know the formula as A vector dot of B vector, it is equals to A into B cos theta. Here A is actually the magnitude, it is actually the magnitude of A vector, and here B is also the magnitude of B vector. Okay. So whenever I have to find out the cos theta, because this is the only thing by which we can find out the angle. If I can find out cos theta, then it is very much easy to find theta. So at first we will find out the dot product of the two given vectors. So A vector dot B vector is how much? A vector is I cap minus J cap. B vector is I cap plus of J cap, and there is a dot present between them. So here I have to multiply the components of I cap at first. So it is of 1 multiplied with this 1. So it is only 1 here. Then the components of J cap should be multiplied. The component of J cap of one vector is -1, and the component of J cap of another vector is +1. When they are multiplied, I'm getting plus minus -1.
Minus
1 minus 1 is 0. So as their
0.
dot product is 0, then you can say this is the shortcut technique. If their dot product is becoming 0, then the two vectors are perpendicular with respect to each other. Then you don't have to find out anything. Okay. As their dot product is 0, so you can say that's why the angle present between A vector and B vector is of 90 degrees. As their dot product is 0, they are perpendicular with respect to each other. So you need not to find out the magnitude of A, magnitude of B, and you need not to substitute all the values in the given formula. This is the benefit of getting a dot product as 0. Okay, whether it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Because how can I say that
Yes,
there,
sir.
if the angle is 90 degree, that I can directly say that the dot product should be 0, because we know that A vector dot of B vector, it is equals to AB cos theta. Find out the value for theta equals to 90 degree. Theta equals to 90 degree, it will be A dot B, it is equals to AB cos of 90. Cos 90 is having the value of 0. So that's why A dot B is 0. The relation is true for reverse case also. That means if theta equals to 90 degree, the dot product should be 0. And if dot product is 0, then theta will be 90 degree. And that thing we have used here. Why that this thing is clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, you have the literature class? Okay, okay. I'm just leaving. Don't worry. Just take the screenshot, then you can write it later. Okay, you have the next class. whether it is taken, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. I'm just finishing the
Okay,
class.
sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye, sir. Thank you, sir.